Hello and welcome to another colour scope for people born in February. Yes, I've given these readings a name of their own. Being a sociologist, we always make up new words, and this is mine, colour scopes. I'm Dr. Karen, and you're on Karen's Colours. If you've been here before, then you are very, very welcome back. If not, if this is your first time here, well, let's hope that I have something to offer you that will help you through the month of August 2026. For this month, I've decided to look at the Doreen Virtues Ascended Masters. Now, this particular oracle was created by a well-known tarot creator, and I thought that some of the things that she has to say in her Ascended Masters oracle might be a benefit to us. So, before we begin anything else, let's do a bit of shuffling, shall we? Now, as you know, I'm still not very good at this, but I am improving through a bit of practice. All right then, let's just choose from the middle in here, and this one will do it. So let's get right into the colour, shall we? So let's now look for some colours for people born in February to see how August transpires. And our strength is white on green. Our obstacle is blue on red. And the underlying energy is pink on cyan. White on green. This indicates massive transformative changes. Green internally is a striving for something new, and white externally means you are prepared to go anywhere, do anything, experience anything in order to attain it. This combination is your strength. What are you trying to get away from? Because often the urge to do something different or something new, to grasp at opportunities, to find those opportunities, comes because there is something that is restricting you, and that's what you want to get away from. In the real world, being prepared to take on anything and everything that comes your way tends to suggest that that transformation is going to be irrevocable. Once you have been exposed to something that offers you a way out of wherever it is that you feel stuck, and you take that opportunity, there's no going back. This combination, white on green, is often called death in the tarot. That doesn't mean you're going to die. What it means is that once you have made whatever choices come from this green value-based heart down here, and taken whatever opportunities are offered to you by the white, there's no going back, ever. The obstacle you're facing, however, is parental energy. The red internally is a sense of frustration. It is your restriction. Green and red are virtually opposites on the colour wheel. They're not exactly, but we're getting close. And the red says that there are things that you are restricted from doing. There are frustrations, there are angers that are hidden or suppressed. And in the real world, you are expected to do all of those obedient things that keep the status quo, that keep the peace. Blue in the real world basically says, shut up, do as you're told, get on with the job, don't complain. And because it's linked to red, which as an obstacle, it means that you are frustrated by this. You don't like the restrictions that are placed upon you by the responsibilities and duties that have been imposed upon you. When we mix these two colors, the blue and the red, we end up with purple, and purple is dramatic change. And that's what you're actually dealing with here. It's not change directly because the purple doesn't exist as a color in its own right, but it's getting to the stage where you're about to burst out of your skin because you can't stand being restricted by your obligations for very much longer. Now, the underlying energy here is interesting because it basically is the idealized version of what is your obstacle, and it's in reverse. Pink is a pale form of red, cyan is a pale form of blue. It takes these to the most extreme enlightened versions, and pink and cyan is the combination that is probably the most beautiful within the entire color set, because what it says is there is an opportunity here, there is a seeking after the absolute in peace and quiet and contentment and basic happiness in being able to let things be. And in the real world, while you don't have much energy to dissipate on this project of maintaining peace and harmony, you don't have to, because you are giving out love and kindness and compassion and caring, and those are coming back at you in abundance. There are people around who care for you. There is an ability here to create the sort of harmony that comes from knowing that you are supported in every way. Let's have a look at what colours we are dealing with here in a little bit more detail, and particularly which ones are not there. Well, for a start, there's no black, but you do have white. You have red. There's no yellow, but you do have green and blue, no brown or orange or grey or purple, although it is hidden here, and you have pink and you have cyan. So these 6 colours here make up the skills that you'll be using throughout the month of August. And when we look at them, we can see that there is quite a variety of potential here. But there are issues that evolve when we start mixing these colours up. So we'll just move the underlying energy over here for a moment and attach the strength to the obstacle. When we put strengths and obstacles together, we often end up with a result that is unsatisfactory for whatever reason. And we do this analysis by swapping over the underlying drivers. And what we have here now is white over red, and we have blue over green. Now, white and red, when we mix those 2 colours together, give us pink. Pink is exhaustion. And that's actually exactly what happens when you confront your obstacle with your strength. You often feel exhausted, but you also feel frustrated with everything in life. It's as though no matter what energy you have, no matter what passion you have, no matter what decisions you make based on how you're feeling at the moment, in the real world, they come to nothing. Or else the energy is so dissipated that you are unable to continue with whatever it is that you had set out to do. And so you find yourself feeling as though everybody has an arrow stuck in your back and you are the one who is slowly bleeding. As well as that, we have blue over green. Now here, the strength, that is your good values, your ability to recognize opportunities when they arrive and also to aim for them, is somehow contained within the duties that are required of you. Now, this combination here is basically abundance. You do have the ability to work hard at maintaining the status quo because your values are all about keeping things on an even keel. Here, you are challenged with your strength to make a great transformative leap and head off somewhere different. Here, you are frustrated and restricted by the fact that there are things that you need to do. You don't have much choice about them. You have to carry out other people's instructions. When we cross these over, then we have a different situation. The blue and white and red, sorry, John, the white and blue in the real world means that there has to be some form of change of perspective. But are you able to carry that out? Because again, it is a strength and an obstacle that's coming into the play here. And internally, what you are being driven by are red and green. Stop and go. Backwards and forwards. You don't seem to be making any progress because your roles, your drivers that come from this strength and this obstacle are causing you to vacillate between moving ahead, not moving ahead, feeling free, feeling frustrated. And in the real world, unless you change your perspective about what these represent in your life, you're going to end up going nowhere fast. Red and green, when we mix those two colors together, give us brown. Brown is our abilities to create ambitions, goals, practical skills. It's hidden over here in a color you're not using. But those two, when we do mix them together, offer you the opportunity to make some sort of ambition, some sort of goal that you can aim towards. But as it stands at the moment, it's just push-pull all the time. Now, what happens when we incorporate the underlying energy? We'll pop that one up in the middle there. Here we have white and green, pink and cyan, and let's just swap them over. When we have white over cyan, we have here again a dissipation of energy, but this time the energy is driven by the fact that you want peace and quiet. You want harmony in your life. And you are prepared to do anything, to experience anything, to accept anything in order to obtain that harmony. But when we mix a color with white, it makes it lighter. The lighter the color is, the less ability there is to attain that easily, the more extreme that driver becomes. So this is almost a spiritual quest for connection with source energy. On the other hand, we also have here pink and green. Now, pink and green, when they're in this combination, is all about having to come to the end of a journey, which sort of kind of fits with this death combination here. This is transformation. You want to completely change your life. This says, well, you're at the end of the old life. So the road is clear. It is clear, determined by what exactly will give you that peace of mind, that absolute contentment that comes with taking a risk, with life, just simply allowing life to happen. We can also shift the underlying energy over here and link it to the obstacle. And when we do that, again, swapping over the underlying drivers, we have here an interesting situation in that two colors that are very closely linked between the hard version and the enlightened version now align with one another. And what we have here now is pink over red. Passion will enable new life to be formed. This is my pregnancy combination. Now, that could be that you actually find yourself in a situation where suddenly parenthood might be looking you down down the barrel. But on the other hand, it could also be that a brand new project is there opening up for you. But remember, this is the crossing of the underlying energy with the obstacle. What is it about this new life? What is it about this passion that's created this new life, this new experience, this new object in your life that is so problematic? As well as that, you also have blue over cyan. You want peace and harmony and contentment. And what do? You get hard work, hard graft, having to do things that you are obliged to do, having to maintain the status quo because nobody else will do that work. You are stuck with it. Again, the underlying energy and the obstacle create a potential issue for you. So how do you get out of that? Well, we do that by examining the colors that are missing and making some choices. As I said, no black, no yellow, no brown, no orange, no grey, no purple. Of these 6 colors, just looking at them, which is the most appealing and which is the least appealing? When you've chosen those, just hold on to them. Put them into your life because they will influence the way in which this peace and harmony and love and contentment operate as the underlying energy. And when they influence that, they also alter or modify the transformation that's happening here, and also deal with the fact that you are waiting frustratedly for something positive to happen in your life. The black says take time out. Do the opposite of the white here. Don't just let life take you by surprise. Think about things deeply on your own. Yellow invites you to learn something new. Overcome your fears and anxieties by actually approaching life with a sense of not just expectancy, but also of potential joy. Life can be wonderful. It just depends on your perspective. Brown is associated with goals and ambitions and practical skills. And we already found that as a potential problem here, because when we add the need for space and frustration causing that need to be amplified, then we end up with goals. But what goals are you choosing? Orange has to do with sociability, but it also has to do with crisis. It has to do with being in a state where you are determined to survive at all costs, that you are courageous and strong and capable. Grey is trying to find a middle path between the black and white, between competing energies and competing demands upon your time and your resources. How do you tread that fine line? Purple, hidden here, is about having fun, but it's also about creating and destroying things. If you're going to have fun, it means you have to find space for that. And if that means having to disrupt something that was there before in order to create something new, then that's perhaps what purple energy will offer you. Let's now look at what the oracle offers us. What we have here is the Archangel Michael. You can do it. You can do it. There's a lot of energy here in this transformation. There is a lot of energy here in the obstacle of being frustrated by the fact that you have things that you must do. But here, the underlying energy offers you serenity and love. It's just a matter of deciding you can do it. Well, it certainly seems like August is going to be a rather transformative month for a lot of us. Maybe your month will be a little less challenging than the reading might suggest. But on the other hand, Maybe challenge is exactly what you need at this time in order to help yourself out of the doldrums that have pretty much afflicted us for most of the year. So until I see you again in September for the next colour scopes, may the colours of your life lead you in a direction that is for your own higher good. Catch you next time. Bye.